How's it going, everybody? Welcome back for another video on Infamous 177 Gaming. This will be a combination of Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, and comparing the two of them. The end of Destiny 1 in its final form, in the Age of Triumph, versus Destiny 2 at launch, vanilla, after playing it for about a month. Okay, so let's look here. Destiny 1, we had record books at the end, and throughout its life, but this is all of them that we had at the end. If you look at the main page of the Rise of Iron record book, for instance, you could get armor, you could get ghost shells, you could get emblems, you can even get weapons and ornaments for your armor, ships, shaders, all as rewards right here on the page, the front page of the book. Just click on it and take your reward if you completed the requirements in the book, if you did the accomplishments. And it gave you a book rank, you can see in the top right corner there. It gave you a completion percentage. It had several pages throughout. Each page had different accomplishments on it. This is the Iron Rising page. So this had all to do with the Rise of Iron, like basically like the story. Here you go, you got complete Rise of Iron questline. Collect all the Iron Lord artifacts that were hidden. Complete Nightfall strikes. Complete all exotic quests in the Rise of Iron. So there's a lot of little goals here it would give you to go and accomplish in-game. And this is just the story page. There's 5 pages in the book. Alright, here's the Plague Lands. So this was the new patrol area they added. Meticulous Collector, collect dormant SIVA clusters. What's the use? Going a little faster. Taking back the Plague Lands, you gotta kill enemies. Open chests in the Plague Lands. Complete bounties for the Iron Lords. Achieve gold medals in public events. Survive the Devil Splicer's onslaught in the Archon's Forge. All these things you could go and do. Here's a raid page. A whole page just for that raid. Open chests in the raid. Destroy SIVA monitors in the Wrath of the Machine raid in the one encounter. Complete the one encounter in under 6 minutes, and it records your time, your best time, actually. It gave you a lot of things to go after, a lot of things to chase, a lot of goals to accomplish. I can't say that enough. And you knew there was a reward coming at the end for doing that. So it incentivized you to go and do that. Here's a Crucible page for the Crucible people. Here's a page from, here's the book, when we got Moments of Triumph, Year 2. There were emblems and shaders on the front pages, rewards, and here was what you had to go do to complete the Moments of Triumph. We had a book for SRL, for Sparrow Racing League. This was something Bungie started to do. I believe the first time they started it was with the first Sparrow Racing League event. But you had to buy the book, and then they started making the books free. And this was just a fantastic idea. I don't know why they've gotten rid of it. I don't know why they decided they didn't want to do this anymore. Here's the Age of Triumph book, so this would encompass everything in Destiny 1 would be in here. And these are all the emblems you could get on the front for completing the percentages of the book. And at the last part, you could actually get a code to go get a t-shirt off of Bungie.net that had you can get your name on the shoulder and everything, and it was a super expensive t-shirt for people that didn't complete that. We've got a page here for Titan, a page here for Hunter, a page here for Warlocks. We had a page for collecting things, a page on strikes, a page for the Crucible again here. What else? We got raids, so doing all of the raid challenges in all the raids. Collections, for how many sparrows you got, how many ships you got, how many dead ghosts you found. Wanderer, public events, and all these different things you could do. Here's your allegiances to all your different factions that you could go and pledge to, and it showed your rank with them, and you reach this rank, you get and unlock this. And here's your Trials of Osiris page. So there's something in the book for everyone. It really gave you a lot to chase. And if you look, you can see you can actually, as you completed some of these things, they gave individual rewards just for some of these completions. You would get shaders or emblems or whatnot. I think it was mostly emblems, if not all emblems actually. And like the raid challenge page, you had to complete the entire page to get the emblem at the bottom, which was the one Edge of Darkness, which to me that was the most sought after exclusive emblem in the game because it meant for PvE content, because it meant you did all of the raids in the game, and not only that, you completed all of the challenges in the game, in all the raids. So that was like, wow, this guy's really good at PvP or PvE. Here's where all the quests used to be, and you could hold 32 quests at a time. I mean, some of these quests had like 10 steps to them. They were long, drawn-out things. Here's where all your factions were shown what rank you were with them. You had all your bounties here you can go do, and they would refresh every day, right? So I don't know where all that went in Destiny 2, but it's not in Destiny 2. I don't even have any. I've got a little clip of that somewhere in this video I'll show you. So, armor. Let's talk armor. Okay? Armor and weapons. Look at this armor. Just look at it, alright? Look at all the animated effects on the armor. Right? Look at how bright and vibrant the shaders are. Look at how it's alive. It has moving things on it. It's very flashy. It's very like, wow, that is awesome. Where did you get that from? And you had to go and you had to complete some of the hardest content in the game in order to get this. This is Wrath of the Machine armor from the Wrath of the Machine raid during Rise of Iron. And you got the ornaments I'm actually wearing from the Age of Triumph. That was a raid ship from King's Fall I just showed there. It's the raid ship from Crota's End. Here's the raid ship from Vault of Glass. Where are our raid ships in Destiny 2? We had raid sparrows too. This was a pre-order sparrow here, but I just thought it was cool in the show. We had sparrows that had, look at the animation on there. Soul, it's got fire on it. I haven't seen any sparrows in Destiny 2 yet that have lights on them even, let alone have flames or void light like this one has, or arc or anything. Any kind of animation to them, any kind of moving things to it. Outbreak Prime had some really cool effects on it, and some really neat perks. And we don't see things like that in Destiny 2. So far, I haven't anyway. Yeah, the raid exclusive exotic shotgun, the Acreus, Legend of Acreus, is really cool, but I don't think it's on the level of an Outbreak Prime necessarily, in its usefulness or in its looks and its sound and its exoticness. Here's an example of an old raid gun, Oracle Disruptor. Weapon deals bonus damage to oracles in the Vault of Glass. Okay. Why don't we have, in the current raid in Destiny 2, the first raid, why don't we have raid guns that give us, they don't have to give us anything else outside the raid, but inside the raid they could give you little buffs. For example, I don't know. What's an example? Maybe they give you lightweight on them, so when you're running the gauntlet, you can move faster. Or maybe you could reload faster on the plates when you're damaging Callus. Look at this ghost. Look at the animations on these ghosts, for instance. Right? Look at that. That's awesome. Right? That's a taken ghost. Why don't we have that in Destiny 2? In Destiny 2, we have just plain ghosts. Look at that helmet. Just look at that. Now look, it had ornament slots on it, right? Only ones that had ornament slots on it were Trials of Osiris armor and raid armor and Rise of Iron, Iron Lord armor. Okay, now look at, that's the helmet as you would get it. Then you could put that ornament on it, right? When originally in Rise of Iron, that was the ornament you could put on it. And then they brought out Age of Triumph, and you could put this ornament on it. Look at that, it's wild. It changes the whole look of the armor. Right? Right now, all we have is shaders on our armor. I just hope I really hope that all this comes to Destiny 2. I'm thinking the reason it's not in yet is because this was being developed right alongside of Rise of Iron and Age of Triumph. So they didn't have time to implement this stuff into at least the base game of Destiny 2. I am praying, I'm hoping that, I'm not praying, I mean that's a little excessive, but I'm really hoping that in the first couple of DLCs, at least in the, if not the December, at least in the spring DLC, we start to see this stuff drip into the game. Because if not, that's really going to concern me, because we're really going to have to wait 2.5, 3 years into Destiny 2's life cycle to see this stuff again? I hope not. Look at this. That's the Vault of Glass helmet from Age of Triumph, right? Just normal looking helmet. You pop an ornament on. Again, here we got perks too. Killing a Vex with a melee has a chance to spawn an orb. Killing a Minotaur with something else had a chance to spawn an orb. Like, you know, you could put on certain perks. Look, it changes the whole helmet when you put the ornament on. Completely different looking. Right? That's awesome. It's like having 2 or 3 helmets in one. And you had to go and chase the ornaments separately from the armor. So it gave you more to chase. When you got the armor, you just got the armor. Then you had to go and complete the challenges in order to get the ornaments to put on the armor, so to enable you to be able to change it. You understand? So I had to go and first get the armor, then I had to chase down 2 ornaments for each. Like 2 ornaments for my arms, 2 ornaments for my legs, 2 ornaments. Look at this, watch this. Okay, 2 different looking legs. Now watch this. I got Vex legs. I got Vex legs. Are you kidding me? I'm done. Look at that. That's amazing. That's awesome. That is just phenomenal. That is what raid armor should be. Right there. Just, I don't know how else I can say it. Now that was the Vault of Glass armor. Now let's look at the Crota's End armor. Right? Now I don't want you to get the impression I'm upset or unhappy with Destiny 2. I'm not. I love Destiny 2. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I'm just a little bit of concerns, and I'm just really hoping that this stuff makes its way into Destiny 2 sooner rather than later. Okay, so there's the standard helmet. If you just were an average raider and you just went in a normal raid, that's the helmet you would have. If you were a hardcore raider and you got the challenge modes and everything, you could make your helmet look like that. I mean, come on. So, you know, who wouldn't want to do that if you were a raider, right? Who wouldn't want to do hard mode and do the challenges and get that stuff? There's your standard shoulder piece, like your arms, right? Pop the ornament on, boom. Awesome. Just awesomeness. And it just goes on and on throughout the armor sets. That's all the raid sets, all the I don't have a trials set because I didn't really play trials in Destiny 1. And then I'm really not going to play it in Destiny 2 that much either. I'm not that hardcore of a PvPer for anybody that doesn't already know from my channel. I do have like a dozen and a half or so Destiny 1 PvP matches, and I will be putting up some Destiny 2, but it's just not my focal point in the game. It's not where I find the most joy. Alright, so I am missing actually the helmet and I think the class item on this set that are the pieces that take the ornaments, but the rest has the ornaments on it. So look at the chest, see how it's like flashing like that? Now that's a more subtle one, but still, it's there, you know? And then you could look at the Rise of Iron set, I believe is the Iron Lord set, Days of Iron. This was the first experimentation, I believe, if I remember correctly, that they had with the ornaments. The first set you were able to get your hands on in the game that had ornaments. This is another one that's pretty wildly different looking. There's the helmet when you first get it. It looks pretty blah, right? Get the ornament, throw it on, boom. And the ornaments, guys, did not come from Eververse. Now, the weapon ornaments came from Eververse. Pretty sure they all came from Eververse. But the armor ornaments came from things you did in the game. You would unlock them. You would basically earn them. Okay? To put it in another way. Now, weapons. What else do I want to show you on weapons here? Here's an exotic sword, all right, with ornaments on it. All right. Now, that's the sword stock right there with no ornament. Put an ornament on it, and it has an animated look. You can see the fire like weaving its way through the sword blade. You know. Let's look at Telesto here. So, this is the stock version. You put an ornament on it. Look at that. Look at the animation in the ornament. You understand what I'm saying? It's not just a shader. It's not just gold and paint and stuff. It's actually got some animation effects to it as well. Here's Allo Supercell, a little bit lighter of an effect on this one, but if you look at the barrel of the gun, you'll really see it. When it's stock like this, there's almost no lightning on the barrel, if any. Just some flashing light. You put the ornament on, look at all the lightning flashing there, the arc energy. See? Just stuff, little things like that. Little things like that give you something, oh, that looks cool, let me chase that. Right? Let me go get that. I want that. Now, here's Destiny 2, alright? We're just looking at the map here a minute. Checking out what's going on with that. We were pointing out bounties and everything earlier in the Destiny 1 maps. Or in like the showing the planets and everything. Destiny 2 doesn't have the daily events. It doesn't have the same setup. It's different. Is it better? I like it. I like it a lot. Do I feel as incentivized to go do things each day? I'm not sure. Here's Destiny 1's. You can kind of see that in the bottom left corner there. It gave you like your daily heroic activities and stuff. Strike exclusive gear. Alright. This helmet was only available in the Fallen Saber Strike on Earth. Alright? That's something that makes you want to run strikes. When there is gear that you could only obtain in specific places in the world by doing specific activities. This Warlock Bond, this class item, was only available in the Sepix Perfected Strike on Earth. And you didn't have a guaranteed chance of getting it. You only had a chance. And you had to have a key to open the chest. Then you had to run the strike. Then you had to open the chest. And you only had a chance of getting that. You could have got something else. You could have got a weapon or something. Alright, now we're going to look at Destiny 2. And we're going to look at weapon ornaments. Alright, here's the Sturm hand cannon. This is its stock, how you normally would have it when you get it, and then you throw the ornament on it. Does it look good? Yes. Do I like it? Yes. But is there flash to it? Is there animation in the ornament? Is there lights flashing or movement or anything like that? Not really. Now the Watercliff coil has a little bit. It goes from a rusty version to the Tesla's Revenge, and it's got like little arc energy flowing through the middle there, so I'll give them credit on that one. That one looks pretty decent. But overall, it's kind of lacking in that department from what I've seen with the ornaments for the different weapons that I've gotten my hands on. Let's look at, this is my full set of raid armor from the first Destiny 2 raid. No cool perks on it that are specific to the raid. No ornament slots on the weapons or the armor. They've got the mod slots to change the burn on the gun, and they've got the shader slots. Same thing on the armor. Shader slot, armor, mod slot. And you can infuse to bring it up higher. Okay, it's got just normal, kind of nothing super special in the way of perks. Alright? There's nothing on here like there was on Destiny 1, like Oracle Disruptor or anything. Alright? So, it's cool, and you like having it because you're like, oh yeah, look, this came from the raid. And a lot of people will see it and they'll know, oh yeah, that guy's got a full set of raid gear, he did the raid. But it doesn't, you're not walking around the tower like, oh man, look at that guy, you know what I mean? Here's a set of armor from the planet Titan, or the moon of Titan in Destiny 2. That's where you got to go to get this set. Is it a cool looking set? Yes, I love it. It's awesome. But there's no pop like there is when you get the sets that have all the ornaments on them. You understand? I want those kind of sets of armor to make their way into Destiny 2. We need that if this game is going to stand on its own and last. If it's going to keep people coming back and playing it every day and chasing stuff. Okay, here's what I was talking about before, the Destiny 1 menu there. When you went to the planets and you opened up the planets to see the maps of them, there wasn't really anything like I was showing you earlier on the Destiny 2 maps. This is just basically what you had up here. Your daily heroic stuff to go into the Crucible, your daily mission, your weekly Nightfall Strike, your Strike playlist, and all that. One thing I do want to point out, you go into the Vanguard list though, the Strike playlist, you had 4 different Strike playlists that you could choose from. Alright, and they had different strikes in them. And they were different power levels too. And then if you wanted the Strike specific loot, you had to go into the hardest Strikes playlist to get it. Right? Or no, I'm sorry, no you didn't. I think that's, you had to go in there to get the keys to open the chest. But you could go into the Strike at the lowest level, that's right. But still, better loot came out of those. Here's the vault from Destiny 1. Alright. Notice at the top it says weapons, armor, and general, by the way. So it had 3 different sections. This is another example of a Strike-specific weapon. This came from the Fallen Saber Strike as well, on Earth. I think I'm going to got like a few more here I can show you. God, excuse me. Getting a little bit of a dry mouth. I should have had a glass of water here from doing all this talking. Alright, here's the Imago Lupin Cannon. This was basically a Fatebringer clone, and it came out at a time when we could no longer access Fatebringer. So people, and it could get the same perks on it that Fatebringer had, so people were chasing after that thing like crazy, trying to get one with just the right roll on it so it would be like a Fatebringer. Here's a Devil's Dawn sniper. It was a very good sniper at the time when it came out. People liked it a lot, and you can only get that from doing a certain strike on Earth. So I mean, you know, it seemed like there was more stuff to chase. Okay, the vault in Destiny 2. It has 200 slots, and it does not separate armor and weapons. They're all lumped into one thing, okay? It's got a few different ways to organize it, but it's kind of sloppy if you ask me. I mean, depending on how you set it up, like right now I have it set up on rarity. And this I actually figured out while I was making the video. I didn't realize. So when I pull things out, they stay, and I put things back in, it kind of stays. But now I'll go back into there, and it's no longer set up as rarity. Right? Now I've got to go back, and I've got to change it again if I wanted to. But look, I just grabbed that gun, right? And the thing next to it changed. Like it shuffled the whole inventory of the vault around. Like for instance, say I want to grab Relentless here, the pulse rifle, and I want to grab the sidearm right next to it. Okay? I'll grab the pulse rifle. Whoop, what happened? Where'd the sidearm go? Where is it? It got moved. The whole inventory got shuffled around. Oh, there it is all the way down at the bottom now. Why? Why does it do that? It doesn't make any sense why it would do that. And it doesn't even group things together. Like, there's so many different ways it should be grouped. It should be grouped like all the scouts rifles together, all the sidearms together. You know, it just doesn't make sense sometimes the way they have it. Here's your collections of emotes and emblems and stuff. On Destiny 1, we had kiosks with this stuff in it, and it would show you where the emblems came from and all that stuff. You don't have that in Destiny 2. In Destiny 2, it's just kind of like, here it is, and, you know, you have it. It doesn't explain to you where you can go to go get those emblems. It doesn't explain to you how to find them or anything like that, or where they came from. You know? Aesthetically, the game is definitely better looking. I'll give it that. It is lots of fun to play. Like I said, I'm enjoying it. I'm not bashing Destiny 2 in any way. I'm just pointing out the differences between the two. You can see the city took a little bit of a pounding down there in the Red War. Got a lot of craters, and there's the old tower. Just thought I'd show that off while I've had the opportunity. If you haven't seen it.
Wherever a guardian stands, there stand the true walls.
Now we'll shift back, I think, to a little more Destiny 1 footage before we wrap this up. And we'll go over that a little bit.
Stand with me, guardian.
Alright, so here's something that's not in Destiny 2. Kiosks. Now this kiosk, you pretty much ignore. This was the Eververse kiosk. If things you can get from Eververse, if you could spend your dust on. We kind of have that with Eververse still. So this is kind of represented already in Destiny 2. Other kiosks though that we don't have, that we just don't have. They're not really represented in Destiny 2, or they're in different places. I kind of like the fact that some of it is on your character, like the shaders. I like the fact that that's on my character. I don't have to go to a kiosk. But I'm not crazy about the way that it's organized, or the way that it doesn't tell you where you got a particular shader from. What are they going to do? What are they going to do if we have a Festival of the Lost and we get those holiday masks again? I wonder where they're going to put those. See, here we go. Emblems. It says Age of Triumph. It says Faction Emblems. It says House of Wolves DLC Emblems. Raid Emblems. Crucible Emblems. Trials of Osiris Emblems. Are they going to do that as going forward? Are they going to start to separate the emblems so we know, what's what, where you got it from? Here's the shaders. Shows you what part of Destiny they came from. SRL, factions, raids, holiday, promotional, Eververse shaders. So the Eververse shaders are the ones that you could actually buy from Test Eververse, or Test Eververse at Eververse. So we don't have that in Destiny 2. We don't have where the stuff came from. And I think that that's important, that we should have that. So that hey, I want this shader, I like this way this looks, I only have a couple of it. How can I get more of it? Where do I go? What activity do I have to do to find it? Hello. I don't know why they don't have that. I really don't. It's kind of surprising to see this many people still in the tower on Destiny 1. I must say. It's not exactly overflowing with people, but still, I almost would have expected there to be like virtually nobody. Alright, one last set of kiosks to show you. We had kiosks for our ships and kiosks for our sparrows, right? Where's this in Destiny 2? Are we going to get this? Like, what happens if I want to just start collecting all these ships? And I don't want to dismantle them and never be able to get them again, or whatever. I'm going to run out of space to put them real quick. Look at this, the sparrow, for instance. Look at that raid sparrow. Isn't that awesome? The one from the Taken King there? It's crazy looking. Like, where is... That's what they look like now. It's just plain. Well, that's Destiny 1 versus Destiny 2. I hope you enjoyed the video. I love both games, and I'm still going to continue to play Destiny and hope that it grows into even better than what Destiny was at the end. If you like the video, like it, share, subscribe, comment down below. Tell your friends. Thanks.